guys, the purpose of this video is to try to help you with your Web 110 class in Module 3. So let's kind of get started and check this out. If I go into my assignments and I go into Module 3, we're going to learn about links and images and how to kind of connect those into our website. So if I take a quick look, it's going to say that my reading assignment for Module 3 is to read Chapter 3 in my textbook. So if my textbook is my ebook, I can come over here and look at my Module 3, enhancing websites with images. So I've got this right here, and I can continue through. What I would recommend is that you read through the book. And when you get to the places in the book that have a set of steps in there, what you can do is you can look through that and kind of follow through, because it will start to give you steps in there. And in those steps, it kind of gives you like helpers and guides that you can do. And one of the things that you can do is you could download these images and this fitness, and it will kind of take you through the steps that are available in your book as you make your way through your book. Or you could just read through the book. But sometimes when you start going through the book, you're like, oh, well, there's actually a class assignment in this book, and it gives you steps. Open your text editor, tap and open the file. So it kind of gives you like steps as you go through here, which would make sense if you were to decide to open this reading assignment file. However, not everybody likes, wants, or needs to do it that way. So that's no big deal. You do you. I want to give you guys a little bit of assistance with your textbook assignment 3. So your textbook assignment 3 is going to come from the Apply Your Knowledge. And it's on page 128 if you have the hard copy book. If not, if you have the ebook, it's just going to be under Apply Your Knowledge. So here we go. So the Apply Your Knowledge is going to look like this when it's complete. So it's going to ask you to open your text editor and then open your index.html file from your data files. But remember, anytime it tells you that you need a data file, that is a file I've already given you. So let's see how to do this. I'm going to go back to the class, and in the class, I'm going to look for the starter file that's listed here for me. So it's going to tell you download the files above to get started. So I'm going to right click, save link as, and I'm just going to save this to my desktop because for me it's a quick and easy place to save it. It is going to be saved as a zip folder. So I need to make sure that I can unzip that folder. So here it is right here, right? So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say extract all, and I'm going to extract it to the desktop and extract. So now what I have is I have a zipped folder that's Apply My Knowledge and an unzipped folder that's Apply My Knowledge. And this unzipped one is the one that I want to work in. Make sure you're working in this one, because I could open this and click and find what I need in here and open it, and it would work. It would open. However, it's not going to allow you to work effectively, and you can't open it in your text editor. So please do not try to work in a zipped folder. Even though you can access it, you can't work with it. So unzip it. Actually, once you unzip it, you're going to see you've got images, CSS, HTML, index, and JavaScript. So these are all of the files that you're going to need based off of the set of directions. Now, if you are not in love with the book set of directions, let's say that maybe trying to read this, open your text editor, nest an IMG element within the header element. Maybe this is difficult for you to understand. Maybe you have a hard time with reading the book. what I have done is I have the same set of directions here in this helper check. So you could use this as a helper check, or you could use it as your set of directions. So if you're trying to double check yourself here, this is also step 1. Open your text editor, open your index.html file. So here we go. This is the same thing. So you could use these helper files as your set of directions, because it also gives you like a double check for you to double check as you're looking through your set of assignments. So if you notice, this one is called index, right? And your first set of directions, if you're in your book, says to open your index.html file. So, and this one is your index.html set of checker. So you could use the checker to complete the assignment with if you wanted to. So how do you complete the assignment? Well, here we go. So what we do is we have this unzipped file right here, right? And in here, I've got index. Hey, check that out. And it's going to look like this. But I need to do some changes and updates to that. So I'm going to end up linking all of these, and then I'm going to have an image up there. So in order to do that, I've got to come down here and open my text editor. So I'll open Notepad. And once I'm in Notepad, I'm going to say File and Open. And I'm going to go to the desktop in my Apply folder. And I'm going to say that I would like to open all files. And I'll open my index file. So I now have my index file here. And then if I wanted to, I could compare that to this file here. And I can make my updates, right, based off of this. And then I could continue on finding everything. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my image in there. Now this is really important. This set of directions where it tells me to add my image in there, when I get ready to add this, I've got to make sure that my image is documented as the same image name that I have in this folder here. So let's just take a look at this. In my images, my picture is named web-design. So when I put my image in here, right, I need to make sure, so it's going to go under Web Design Basics H1. And I'm going to add my image in there. And do you see it's named web-design.jpg? So that is the actual name of the image that's coming from this images folder from the zip file I gave you. And you're going to re-zip this when you're done and turn it in. So I'm going to make all of the changes to this index file here. And I'll continue on and make any change that it says that I need to make in there. I'll add my image in here, right? I'll give my alt text in there, right? That's what a reader would read. Computer with the text web design, and it's going to give the size. And I will continue on changing and updating anything on this index file, either based off of the book directions or based off of the set of directions that are listed here. It's the same thing, but this is a more visual interpretation of it, right? And it helps you not to make a mistake. So you could use it, like I said, as your checker or your set of directions. Once you're done making all the changes on your index, you're going to say File and Save As. And you're going to save it into your desktop, in your Apply, as index. Guess what? .html. And it's going to say, uh-oh, it already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I do. Okay, so when I'm done with this, This here new index is the one I just updated. So if I double check it, look what it has now, the picture. So what you're ultimately going to do, if you're just trying to figure out this next module, you're going to open up this file that you have unzipped. You're going to open up each one of these CSS, HTML, index, and JavaScript. And in each one of these, you're going to add the links in there, and you're going to add the picture and save it back to this same place. So you guys just saw me add this picture into my index. So now the picture is in there. So I did step 1 on there, but there's still a couple of things that need to be complete on there. And then whenever you're done and you are in Notepad, you just go up and File and Save As, and you're going to save it right back into that same folder to override the one that's already there. When you have updated each one of these, CSS, HTML, index, and JavaScript, when all 4 of those are updated, so I tried to put this in the set of directions for you in the Blackboard class. So when all of those are updated, you're going to rezip those back. So you should have images, folder, and each one of these. Now this little icon here is just simply representing the browser. So that's Firefox, and here this is Edge. So either way, those little icons may be different based off of what your browser default is. So you're going to need to make sure that all 4 of these and your images folder are going to be pulled up and re-zipped back. And if you're not sure how to do that, I'm going to delete the one I downloaded initially because I don't need that. I've already unzipped it. All of that stuff is here. Then I'm going to open each of these in my text editor, update the changes. Then when I'm done, I'm going to right click and I'm going to say send to compress zipped folder. And dun, da, 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 there it is. So it will have all of these updated files in there, but in order to see those, I'm gonna have to unzip it. So your step number 1 is to download your starter file, apply zip, then unzip it. Then you're gonna open each of those in your text editor, make changes, and save it back. Then when you're done, you're going to re-zip it back, and that is what you'll turn into Blackboard. So hopefully that helps you some. Also, the next thing I want to mention to you guys is check out this rubric. Please do not forget, once you start with Module 3, it's going to ask you. So I go through this rubric as I'm grading. I'm checking all of your stuff. At the bottom, it says in step 12, make sure you added an absolute link to the W3 school. So it's going to have this extra add-on worth 10 points down here. And that actually for you, if I were to look in my book at the Apply Your Knowledge at step 12 and the Apply Your Knowledge, I will see that step 12 is going to be that here. Right? So you can put that in your, you could put that in your comments and that would work too, or make sure you add it in the last paragraph element. So always double check this, make sure, here it is. In step 12, you added the absolute link. With more information, use your browser and do some research. When it says do some research, which is your step 12, which is what it's referencing here for this 10 points. You want to make sure that, I don't want a ton of research, just tell me a little bit of information. Don't make it too tough. I'm not trying to make it too tough for you. So hopefully this will help you guys download, start, save, finish, and rezip your files. Make sure you turn in a zip file this time. If you don't, I can't accept it. There's no way I can grade a file that hasn't been zipped. So hopefully this will help you guys. Send me an email if you need some help.